We are live. I am done. Absolutely done with Neal Brown and Jordan Leslie. I am pissed on this episode of Locked On West Virginia. Stick around and let's talk about it.
You are Locked On West Virginia, your daily podcast on the West Virginia Mountaineers, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What is up? Welcome in, guys. Welcome to Locked On West Virginia. Thank you guys for your support. This episode is brought to you by Game Time. Today's episode is brought to you by Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code LOCKEDONCollege for $20 off your first purchase. I'm at a loss for words. I really am. Up 10 with 4 minutes to go. That's like you're getting into the mid to upper 90s percentile of you should win this game or you shouldn't win this game. Like if you looked at it, you would have been to the upper 90%, right? And yet still this team finds a way to allow huge plays in the secondary to lose a football game, whether it's at the end of the half, like against Penn State, and even Albany, they were just outmatched. Or in this game, 2 huge plays. Jordan Leslie continues to play press man coverage in big moments, and we continue to get absolutely torched. So at the end of the day, the better football team lost the game. You know, it's wild to believe, but it's the way it is. I don't know, man. It's you're in timeout, JJ. You can go do your own show. So don't forget the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. And drop a comment below. Just let me know how you feel about everything that just went down. Let's look at some numbers on the game. I haven't even really looked at the box score yet. Okay. All right, so 38-34. Garrett Green was 16 of 30, 210 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. You know, there were some big plays. The 50-yard touchdown pass that came back on that was really a phantom holding call, which was unfortunate. So his numbers probably would have been a little bit better, but you know, at the end of the day, I don't know. Holstein goes 21 of 30 for 301 and 3 touchdowns. I feel like WVU pretty much gave him the majority of what he got. He definitely made some nice throws, especially the one to score a touchdown with pressure in his face. That was an excellent throw. I still believe he's a below average quarterback, and that'll play out in the ACC as the year goes on. We're just a really bad defense. As you can tell, my throat is gone. It's gone. CJ Donaldson had a decent game. 19 carries, 79 yards, a touchdown. Jaden Bray leads us in receiving, guys, with 1 catch, 44 yards. That's your top receiver by yards. 1 catch for 44 yards. Cole Taylor gets 4 balls on a drive. It makes a block to score the touchdown, and then is never seen again. A disappearing act. Unbelievable. The honeymoon's over for Neal Brown, in my opinion. The honeymoon's over. This was a make or break one for me. People will say I'm overreacting, but coming off the season we just had, there was a lot larger expectations at stake. I need to calm down a little bit because I can barely even think to do this episode. I really can't. Like, I'm so mad over this. The better football team lost this game, and it really, I don't know how to put it into words at the moment, I could barely talk because I was yelling at the TV. Just remember, I'm not a sports journalist. I'm a fan. So, you're going to get a different reaction from me than maybe John Kurtz, or somebody like that. So, I don't have anything eloquent to say as far as how the game went. I just am extremely disappointed. Jordan Leslie, the 2 years that we had a good defense under him, which was like 2020, 2021, we were up 10, should have been way more than that, dude, with 4 minutes to go in the game. We lost the game more than you won the game. And I won't admit that. I will not admit that. We dominated you guys in the run game. We sacked your quarterback like 7 or 8 times. I don't know how many it was, but it was a lot. At the end of the day, our wide receivers couldn't get open. That was a big reason why we lost this football game. Our wide receivers were supposed to be better coming into the year, and they just aren't. Traylon Ray showed up a little bit today. Justin Robinson, maybe, I think he should probably get some more playing time. But just overall, I'm really upset, with how the team – Garrett, obviously, is just not playing up to par. And I think Garrett, Neal Brown really needs to look at the situation and say, okay, I think you got to give it to Nico. I know people are going to say I'm overreacting again, but Garrett just doesn't look the same to me. He doesn't, he's not making the game-changing plays with his legs like he was. Did you see the end of the game? Those passes were absolutely awful. You can keep paying me to say whatever you want, brother. I'll put it up there for you. Appreciate the money. But for me, man, it's just a frustrating loss, I appreciate the views. Like, we've got 300 people in here right now. So if there's Pitt people in here, come on in. I don't care. Like, at the end of the day, there's nothing y'all can say that's going to make me madder than I already am at the way that Neal Brown and company just performed. 4 minutes to go in the game, you go up 10. Or I don't know what the time was. Was it 4 minutes? I can't remember. But, yes, the referees were terrible. That's definitely another storyline. I think both sides could admit to that. Yeah, about 4:55. About 4:55. Okay. So on the other side of the break, guys, I want to talk a little bit more about the future of Neal Brown, his job security, where we think that really is, because obviously a lot of us are overreacting right now, but I think there's a conversation that needs to be had. Maybe somebody needs to go like last year. Franklin had to cut all the fat, right? He had to go out and get Cole Nicky. He had to get rid of Diaz because he left. And then we brought in Tom Allen. I think Neal Brown needs to take a serious look at – that's even if we can get the season turned around. And I don't have a lot of faith in that now. I did before today. If we can get this season somehow turned around, I truly believe it's not going to be because of the defense, What's up, John? The PI call on the last drive was absolutely awful. Can't believe the broadcast didn't say a word about it. There was a lot of bad calls. I don't know how much of this game you watched, John, but it was one of the worst officiated games on both sides I've ever seen. It really was. Up next on Locked On West Virginia, guys, we're going to talk about Neal Brown, Jordan Leslie and company, and what their futures exactly look like, because in my opinion, there needs to be a real conversation around it. We're in game 3. Never would have thought we would be here, but here we are. We'll talk about that next. This episode of Locked On West Virginia is brought to you by eBay Motors. Passion, drive, and patience. The formula for winning championships is also what drives your ride or die alive. eBay Motors has everything you need to maintain your vehicle and level it up to peak performance. Superchargers, roof hacks, exhaust kits, LED lights, and more. Whether you're into speed, power, or style, eBay Motors has you covered. With over 122 million parts for your number one ride or die, you'll always find exactly what you're looking for. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, your part is guaranteed to fit your ride every time or your money back. Because with eBay Motors, you're burning rubber and not cash with all the parts you need at the prices you want. It's easy to make your car the MVP and bring home huge wins. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions do apply. And eBay Guaranteed Fit is only for U.S. customers. This episode is also brought to you by Factor Meals. Fuel up with Factor's no prep, no mess meals. Meet your wellness goals thanks to the menu of chef-crafted meals with options like Calorie Smart, Protein Plus, and Keto. Factor's fresh, never frozen meals are dietitian approved and ready to eat in just 2 minutes. So no matter how busy you are, you'll always have time to enjoy nutritious, great tasting meals. Make today the day you get your kickstart a healthy new routine. What are you waiting for? With 35 meals and more than 60 add-ons to choose from every week, you'll always have new flavors to explore. Crush your wellness goals and get this May with dietitian-approved meals and ingredients you trust. Make your day delicious from breakfast to dessert and stay fueled with easy, nutritious options. Treat yourself to restaurant-quality meals that feature premium ingredients like filet mignon, shrimp, and blackened salmon. Keep kitchen time to a minimum. Factor meals are ready in 2 minutes, so there's no shopping, prepping, cooking, or cleaning up. Enjoy effortless support for your lifestyle and choose from 6 menu preferences to help you manage calories, maximize protein intake, avoid meat, or simply eat well balanced. Head to factormeals.com/lockedoncollege50 and get 50% off your first box and 20% off your next month. That is code LockedOnCollege50 at factormeals.com. All right, on this segment of Locked On West Virginia, I want to dive a little bit deeper into the conversation about Jordan Leslie and Neal Brown, as I do think it's a conversation that needs to be had, absolutely. I'm with JDK. I think we got to think next year a little bit, at least a little bit. I don't know. You hear people throw names out there. I don't know what's realistic. I mean, you're going to hear Jimbo. You're going to hear Nick Saban. I don't think either one of those names are realistic. Jimbo might be, but I certainly don't think Nick Saban is going to be somebody that, if it comes down to a Neal Brown. And listen, as mad as I am right now, I'm not stupid enough to realize that the rest of the season still has to play out. It's not going to end now. Like, he's not going to get fired today or tomorrow. So we've got to let the season play out, obviously. If it comes to it, West Virginia's never fired a coach mid-season, ever. Listen, I appreciate you, El Capitan, but try not to promote other people's lives while you're in mine, brother. It's just a respect thing. Please. I appreciate you being here, though. Yeah, I think you should start making calls. There's no doubt. There's no doubt. Yeah. Pitt, I struggle with this because I understand they do deserve some credit for coming back in the game. Out of stubbornness, I don't want to give it to them, right? But at the same time, I feel like they snatched victories from the jaw. They snatched victory from the jaws of defeat more than anything else. You get what I'm saying? And so I don't know which it was. Up 10 with 4 minutes to go is a recipe for success 9 times out of 10. But the football guy put up, don't go, how did he put it? Don't go vanilla play calling, don't go vanilla play calling, don't go vanilla play calling. And that's what he did. We ran the ball, 3 straight times after we scored that and had to punt. it's just insane, man. We dominated them the entire second half on defense. I think he had 12 yards somewhere into the fourth quarter in the second half, and then 2 drives at the end of the game. I don't even think that would be a great hire, Yates. If you've seen NC State's defense this year, they've been absolutely shredded, So I don't know. I mean, he's a great West Virginia guy, but I don't know about it, So let's look some more at – let's share a screen really quick. Let's look some more at some of these stats. This is just basic off Google. I haven't even went to like ESPN or somewhere a little better, but let's see. Team stats. Total yards are pretty close. 401 with 379. Passing yards, Pitt won that. The yardage totals were basically identical. Yards per play, Pitt won that. Probably the last 2 drives had a lot to do with that. 5 more first downs. Third down efficiency, both teams were bad. West Virginia was worse. Fourth down efficiency was the reason West Virginia was winning the game. Was a huge reason. 3 for 5. 2 of those with the trailing Ray on the same route, just flipped to different sides of the field. West Virginia ran 75 plays. Pitt's the up-tempo team, and West Virginia ran 75 plays. This is a recipe right here for you're supposed to win almost every set. You're telling me unbelievable. You're telling me I get 16 more plays than you in a game? I'll take that. If everything's equal, I'll take that. And I can win the game. And yet we didn't. The punt block was obviously enormous. Huge game changer there. That's a 7-point. Well, actually, it was a 14-point swing. There was the phantom holding call, and then we had to punt, and they blocked it, ran it back for a score. I think that's the sequence. That was a 14-point swing. So the reason I say the better team lost was because of that. That's a huge reason. Like, that 14-point swing was like truly game changing. We still went up 10 points after that. Should have been way more. It really should have been way more. This team was undisciplined today. They were over emotional. They were more ready today than they had been in the previous 2 games, but they still weren't ready enough. Like, I can't say very many positive things. TJ Jackson became a star today on defense. He really had a great game. He really did. I'm really proud of him. Trey Lathan played well. Josiah Trotter played well at times. Nobody in the secondary really played that well. Well, I mean, I don't know if he'd be the guy or not, Yates, but, I mean, Rid Baker doesn't really care about ties to the program that much. He would probably go to look to bring somebody in that he wanted. 2 picks, but one was at the end of the game. Wild, man. Just wild. Oops. Let's see. And you keep Desmond Reed, you held him all the way in check. Like, if you told me in this game that he had 11 rushes for 26 yards, I'll absolutely take that. Here's another thing. That's 3 quarterbacks now that have absolutely shredded West Virginia. Holstein had 14 carries for 59 yards. Drew Aller had something similar to that, probably like closer to 80. And then the kid from Albany had some plays he extended with his legs too. Craziness, man. Craziness. Pretty frustrating, I'll tell you. Brown's got to go. A lot of people upset with Neal Brown. If you're watching this on X, which it says, good Lord, 270 people were watching this on X. I wonder how many of them are Pitt fans and can't comment. Come over here to YouTube if you want to trash me. I'm here. I'm here for it. Holstein still sucks. He still sucks. Well, you know what, Andy? I mean, yeah, I agree. He is good against the run, but I think that has to do with Jackson as much as anything, the defensive line coach. It's just he coaches what he's good. He's a good coach as far as developing 3-star type players that you're going to get when you're in West Virginia. I mean, if he came to West Virginia, he would immediately turn us into a winner in the Big 12. I don't have any doubt. His clout alone would get us, in my opinion, like this is way out in the clouds, hypothetical. I've already looked at it. He's 72 years old. So you're talking about 3 to top end 5 years, and that's really pushing it. I mean, Paterno coached into that age. Bowden coached into that age. There's guys that do. I think Snyder coached up into that age. And Nick Saban's obviously still really bright. Seems like he's in good shape and has energy. I certainly think he could coach again. But number one, obviously, West Virginia would be a huge step below what he's used to. LSU and Alabama and the SEC. Michigan State, the Big Ten. If he did, we would 100%. It's not like Dio on a sideshow. The clout of a Nick Saban would make any program. Name the program. I don't care who it is. Appalachian State. You put Nick Saban on the sidelines at Appalachian State, and 4 and 5-star guys will be transferred there to play for him. That's just facts. Right? It'd be similar to a Dion effect, except he can coach, But it's not going to happen, right? If by chance it could, obviously it would change life for us. And I think he would probably have us, we would definitely be Big 12 title contenders. But, God, this is so out in the clouds. Like, this is just – it's really not even worth talking about because it's not going to happen, I'm not dreaming. You can hear me saying it out loud that it's, like, way out there. Like, I'm obviously entertaining what people that chat are saying and coming up with a hypothetical as to what that would look like. So, it's not like I'm saying it's going to happen. Yeah, who said that? Brian Hartline, not a bad idea. Great young coach, knows receivers, that's for sure. He's going to be one of the next big names to get a job for sure. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you what. I'd try to pull Houston's coach away from there if I could. I really do think he's a good coach, good young coach. The guy that was he's at Liberty now. What's his name? His name slips me. Hold on, Liberty's coach. What's his name? I'm sure people already know. Yeah, Jamie Chadwell. I like Jamie Chadwell coming out of Coastal Carolina, but, who knows? I mean, right. I get that. Hardline would be a crazy pool. Yeah, it'd be similar to like a Fickle or something maybe. Like as far as like how excited I was because I really wanted Fickle when we hired Brown because he was out there too, I think. And I think he just turned us down from what I understand. Might as well bring in Hugs. Yeah. No doubt. Jimbo bought property in Clarksburg and could take us all the way. No, I don't think so, Ranger. Obviously this is the major criticism of Jimbo, but he was mediocre with the best talent that you could possibly get. And our NIL support it's average. It's not even good. It's just average. Teams like Ohio State spend $20 million just to retain their roster. We can't even get to 6, So, we would have to bring in a Saban to get that. If we bring in a Nick Saban, obviously, or I don't know. A Jimbo would probably have his own set of donors that just support him. Some coaches have that. Will Wade is like that. Like wherever he goes, he's set up. He's got NIL. He's got donors that just support his career. Like that. There's that. I don't even know what's going on with the revenue sharing either. That could be something that changes the game. I don't know. Daniel, I'm sorry, but those are both two really bad choices for me. Peterson's been out of the game for a long time, and Paul Christ is. I don't like the offense he runs at all. It's very antiquated, That and he coached at Pitt, so I'm good. But that power eye type of offense, I'm good, bro. Kolnicki would be possible, but he would be an unproven head coach. He's a great play caller, sure, but he would probably be one of the top names for sure. But you look at Penn State and what they've done so far this year, I don't know. I think he needs more time, but maybe not. I wouldn't hate it, but is he a good culture fit? I don't even know if it matters. Thanks, Burlong. Yeah, I often wonder what this team would look like under Nico. I know it's hard because you're not supposed to bring that stuff up, but I really think we should think about Nico. I don't think Neal Brown is notoriously hard-headed. He wouldn't pull JT Daniels. He will not pull starting quarterbacks very easily, or if at all. But I think Nico Markiel, if you want to keep him especially beyond this year, you might want to think about it. It's getting into that territory where, Garrett was 16 for 30, guys. 4 or 5, 3 or 4 of those passes were at the end of the game. I'll give you that. But it was bad before that. He played well on like 2 drives, I think, The 2 drives that put us up 10, he played well on. But that was it. He may be. That would have to stop, obviously, if he came to West Virginia. But, it's obviously just so far out there that it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. An SEC coach only? I don't know about that. There's plenty of good coaches out there, Joe. I don't know about that one. Could Saban as a consultant idea? Yeah, not a bad idea. All right, guys. Up next on Locked On West Virginia, we're going to continue to talk about this for a few more minutes before we jump off here. Really frustrating loss today in the Backyard Brawl. My throat's gone. I can barely talk, but we'll try to give it a few more minutes. Stick around for the end of this episode. This episode of Locked On West Virginia is brought to you by – oh, I got the wrong one pulled up here. My apologies. How did I do that? Well, never mind. Let's see. It's supposed to be LinkedIn. I don't know why it's not there. There it is. I guess I have too many things pulled up at once. This episode of Locked On West Virginia is brought to you by LinkedIn Talent Solutions. When you're hiring for a small business, you want to try quality professionals that are right for the role. That's why you have to check out LinkedIn Jobs. LinkedIn Jobs has the tools to help you find the right professionals for your team faster and for free. LinkedIn isn't just a job board. LinkedIn helps you hire professionals you can't find anywhere else. Even those who aren't actively searching for a new job might be open for the perfect role. In a given month, over 70% of LinkedIn users don't visit other leading job sites. So if you're not looking on LinkedIn, you're looking in the wrong place. On LinkedIn, 86% of small businesses get a qualified candidate within 24 hours. So hire professionals like a professional on LinkedIn. LinkedIn knows that small businesses are wearing so many hats and might not have the time or resources to hire. LinkedIn is constantly finding ways to make the process easier. They even just launched a feature that helps you write job descriptions, making the process even easier and quicker, which results in 2.5 million small businesses using LinkedIn for hiring. Post your job for free at linkedin.com/lockedoncollege. That's linkedin.com/lockedoncollege. All right, guys. Final segment here. Somebody put Dan Mullen. Yeah. Here's the thing about this, guys. We're stuck with Neal Brown for the rest of the year, you know? So while we can have these conversations, it's not something that we can talk about every day. You know, like eventually I'm going to have to move on to Kansas, you know? And here's what we're going to hear from him this week. The Big 12 is still in front of us, right? Like, and it is, but I don't believe anymore like I did coming into the year. So, and that's when West Virginia does its best work, you know? But going 1-2 in the non-conference is the worst possible scenario. And I don't think any of us thought it was going to happen. I didn't. You know, people, you know, obviously they're not going to see this the same way I do, but I really, truly believe we were the better team. I do. Their quarterback played well today. He did. I still think he's going to end up being average. That's just my opinion. But yeah, outside of that, we beat him in every statistical category. The flags really disjointed the game. And they made the plays at the end of the game they had to make. Like, it's not like they didn't do anything right here. I'm just simply saying the better team lost. And that's I'll go to my grave with it. You know, I'm going to watch the game again to see if I come up with the same conclusion because I'm emotional. But we dominated their offensive line. We just dominated it. Holstein under pressure made throw after throw. He did, but I don't know, man. It's real frustrating. I know I probably sound like a broken record talking about the same couple things. I need some time to organize my thoughts together. So if you're not subscribed to I agree, David. He said, Paul, key coaching calls this loss, no excuses. Yeah, it's a lot of coaching. It really, truly is. I mean, in this game, they were up 10 with 4 minutes to go. The secondary is bad, yeah. Yeah, I can't lie, you know, like it's 1,000% the problem. If the secondary was average, we win this game by a lot, right? But that's not the case. And that's a great point that this is one of the things I wanted to talk about that just drove me absolutely nuts. Absolutely. My phone's going crazy. I'm getting just absolutely blasted by Pitt fans, which is whatever. We hit it to CJ up the middle on first and second down on the crucial drive where you needed to get a couple yards. First downs around the clock. The D played keyed on CJ. Then we got a passing situation. Basically, I thought you were going to talk about something else. But, you know, My biggest problem was sending CJ on these runs that were outside zone, east and west. I didn't get it, I didn't get it. I really didn't. I, I, I don't know. And he did it several times. I don't know, man. I appreciate that, John. And if you guys don't have, or if you're not subscribed to John Kurtz, go check it out over on John Kurtz, the YouTube channel. He's the best in the business when it comes to covering the Big 12. Him right along my guy Drake over at Locked On Big 12. But yes, absolutely go check out John Kurtz. In my opinion, is just he's got a newsletter as well that's free to subscribe to. I would absolutely, if I were you, subscribe. There are a lot of good info in it every week. And as far as realignment goes, he covers it better than anybody else. So that's just my take on it. John Kurtz, who's really starting to build something over there. I think he's closing in on 20K subscribers. So absolutely worth it. And I try to watch every live I can of John. So that's about it for me this evening, guys. I'm frustrated. This was a tough one. It sucks because the brawl ends too. Like there's no extension for this. So they're going to have this over our heads like we have with Virginia Tech for now. But hopefully they extend the series. Obviously, this is a game that needs to be played every year. Frustrating loss, man. And we'll have all these other conversations probably up through the next week. So, I can just put some thoughts together because my emotions are running so high. I just can't do it today. But thank you guys for joining, and we'll talk more tomorrow. Before you leave, though, thank you for making Locked On West Virginia your first listen. If you could do me a big favor, go over to Locked On College Football, guys. He does a really good job over there. Spencer McLaughlin, one of the best there is around here, and never-ending conference realignment rumors, NIL deals. He gets you ready for an exciting season on the gridiron. Find Locked On College Football on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. Hope you guys have a nice evening, and I'll see you guys tomorrow on here. Good night.